Hey, 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 happy Monday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, amazingly enough, thegaminggang.com. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Monday, March 14th, 2022. This is live stream 764. If this is your first time joining me, let me point out, super casual around here. Just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news, as well as taking a look at a tabletop gaming release. And tonight, we are going to take a look at the first book in the Epic Legacy series, which is from 2C Gaming. We're going to look at the Core Rulebook in just a bit. And from my understanding, this allows you to take your 5th edition D&D characters from 20th level to 30th level. So we're going to take a peek. We've got 3 of the Epic Legacy releases we'll be taking a peek at this week. Of course, do want to mention we tackled the tabletop gaming news first. So if you are tuning in because you want to check out Epic Legacy, please keep in mind, we're going to tackle about 30 minutes of tabletop gaming news, and then we will dive on into the book. If you are watching this stream 30 minutes or more after it ends, then there will be timestamps. You can just skip right ahead and take a look at the page through. But you'll miss the news, and there's actually quite a few cool items we're going to take a look at tonight. Also, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. It'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as today's review of Dungeons & Dragons Critical Role, the Call of the Netherdeep. I keep wanting to say the Call of the Netherdeep, but it is Call of the Netherdeep. So yes, shared my review. It is up now. If you're curious about this adventure supplement, give the review a peek. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Lastly, this is a live stream, so that means there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, got a question, have a comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. So John Vogel was first out the gate tonight, followed by our chat moderator, the Madman. Who else do we got? Clint Gibson is with us, and Disavowed 92 has arrived in chat. Howdy, everybody. The Madman says they were wondering if they'd get to actually make the show on time. They had a 13-hour workday. Yikes. Ouch. Kick back, relax, take it easy. Enjoy maybe possibly an adult beverage. And we will jump on into the show. Do want to mention that you must be a subscriber to the channel for at least 48 hours before you can comment in chat. That's another way that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. All right. So let's jump on into the news because, as I mentioned, I've got a pretty eclectic mix tonight. Now available for pre-order from Renegade Game Studios is a new edition of Seth Jaffe's Crusaders Thy Will Be Done, plus its expansion. Here's what I know. Published previously in 2018, we're proud to announce not only a reprint of Crusaders Thy Will Be Done by designer Seth Jaffe, but also that we're bringing the long-awaited Divine Influence expansion to market. Move your knights, erect buildings, and go crusading to spread the influence of your order. When the orders get too strong, King Philip would become nervous and disband all Templar orders, ending the game. Wasn't it the Pope, though? I thought it was the Pope. I know King Philip didn't want. I thought King Philip influenced the Pope into essentially calling the Templars heretics. Maybe I'm wrong. Then again, I don't think this is a super historically accurate simulation. I think this is a Euro game that has a Crusaders flavor to it. Crusaders Thy Will Be Done uses a combination of rondel and Mancala mechanisms. Each player has their own rondel, which they can upgrade over the course of the game, that controls their action choices during the game. Your faction gives you a special power to control your rondel, and the buildings you erect will help you form a strategy. In addition to the base Crusaders game, we're also going to do an additional printing of the deluxe version, which features foil-stamped box, metal influence tokens, both plastic and wooden knights and buildings, dual-layer player boards, and more improvements. This version is a Renegade exclusive and will be produced in limited quantity, so get your pre-orders in today. Finally, whether you've got an existing version of Crusaders Thy Will Be Done or planning on picking it up for the first time, in the Divine Influence expansion, spreading the influence of your order takes on a whole new meaning. Claim influence over regions with the new and improved influence action. Take advantage of 4 new building types and explore 4 new knight orders. This expansion is fully compatible with the base games from both the original Tasty Minstrel Games edition, as well as this new Renegade reprinting. Crusaders Thy Will Be Done is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays around 40 to 60 minutes, and the standard edition is going to carry an MSRP of $60. The deluxe edition's MSRP is $100, and the Divine Influence MSRP is $30. These are all set for a Q3 2022 release. I like the cover art. I think the cover art's kind of sweet. I like that knight sitting there giving alms is effectively what I believe they're doing. Gotta say, $60 feels kind of pricey for this. I don't know. Of course, the image that I'm sharing actually right now, coming up right now, is from the Tasty Minstrel Games edition, and that shows the components. I'm assuming it's the same for the Renegade Game Studios edition as well. Next news piece arriving in April is Libertalia, Winds of Gale Crest. Here's the latest from Stonemaier Games. In the world of Gale Crest, sky pirates set sail on the winds in search of adventure, treasure, and glory. As an admiral, you command a vast and varied crew, but so do your rivals, sailing other ships in the pirate fleet. Each day, the fleet lands on a different island where you'll send a crew member to collect your share of the loot, hoping they'll return to boost your growing group of characters. Libertalia was originally released in 2012. 10 years later, we're celebrating the foundations of the original design with a heavily revised and expanded edition that includes all new art, 40 characters per player, reputation system to resolve tiebreakers, premium loot tokens, a robust solo mode, and much more. If you like Mission Red Planet, Broom Service, and other hand management games, we think you'll enjoy sneakily managing your crew in Libertalia, Winds of Galecrest. The game is for 1 to 6 players, ages 14 and up, plays in 45 to 60 minutes, and it will carry an MSRP of $49 when it arrives in stores later this month. So I do believe that this has anthropomorphic animal characters. So your pirate crew are animals. So kind of cool. In fact, there you're seeing some of the cards right now. Hey, gotta point out, Stonemaier Games makes popular games. So I'm gonna assume, like just about all their other releases, that Libertalia Winds of Galecrest is gonna be a hit. Omanal has joined us. Good to see you, Omanal. In fact, we've got a new review from Omanal up on the gaminggang.com. And it is a review of the Core Rules for Traveler, the new 2022 update, in fact. So if you are curious about the updated edition, by all means, check out Omanal's written review over on the site right now. Russell Higgins is with us in chat as well. I see saying that their pirate crew are animals. Animals, I tell you. The Madman says Frosthaven was originally going to be $160 after the Kickstarter. Now it's priced at $250. So the Madman is pointing out that they can definitely see these increases in pricing. Yes, as Omanal points out, that Frosthaven is hernia-inducing at over 30 pounds. Jeez. Yowza. Okay, so let's move on to some role-playing game news, because there's plenty of great Pathfinder gaming ahead in April. It's coming from Paizo Inc. Here's what's on the horizon. First off, we've got Pathfinder Book of the Dead. The Dead are Rising. This blasphemous tome gives players and GMs everything they need to bring the shambling menace of the undead to their Pathfinder adventures. This book includes tools for fighting against the undead horde, but also options for the players themselves to control or even become undead creatures. GMs will find new tools and haunts, as well as information about the undead plagued lands of the Lost Omens campaign setting. A massive bestiary section full of undead creatures brings more threats for GMs to use and summonable creatures for players, including more versions of classic undead like vampires, skeletons, and zombies. This 224-page hardcover rulebook also includes a full adventure, which is themed around fighting the undead. This will be available in hardcover for $49.99 or in PDF for $14.99. Then we have the Pathfinder Adventure Path number 178, Punks in a Powder Keg. It is the first chapter of the Outlaws of Elkinstar Adventure Path. A ragtag band of gunslinging outlaws get their hands dirty in the greasy alleyways and whiskey-soaked saloons of Elkinstar, the city of smog. To get revenge on the mogul who destroyed them, the renegades will have to stick up an illicit bank, foil a crooked shield marshal, and escort a reclusive inventor to safety. All the while, countless rough-and-tumble rivals aim to waylay the party and seize the inventor's latest concoction, pyronite, an explosive substance with the potential to change the face of the world. In a city where the clockwork guards are literally as tough as brass, the anti-heroes will need true grit to dole out overdue justice. Punks in a Powder Keg is a Pathfinder adventure for 4 first-level characters. This adventure begins the Outlaws of Elkinstar Adventure Path, a 3-part monthly campaign in which a band of outlaws unravel an explosive criminal plot in the heart of the city of smog, Elkinstar. This adventure also includes a gazetteer of the character's home saloon, new feats, items, and rules options perfect for gunslingers, gearheads, and grenadiers, and new steampunk creatures and mutant monsters to befriend or bedevil your players. Of course, this will be a great use for guns and gear. Each monthly full-color softcover Pathfinder Adventure Path volume, say that 5 times fast, contains an in-depth adventure scenario, stats for several new monsters, and support articles meant to give game masters additional material to expand their campaign. Pathfinder Adventure Path volumes use the open game license and work with both the Pathfinder RPG and the world's oldest fantasy role-playing game. What could that be? The softcover will carry an MSRP of $24.99, or you can snag the PDF for $17.99. Speaking of guns, we've got the Pathfinder Guns deck. The Pathfinder Guns deck is a companion to Pathfinder Guns and Gears. It provides illustrations and statistics for over 100 new firearms from Pathfinder Guns and Gears, and supports numerous exciting firearms you can use to expand your game. With everything from black powder weapons like the musket to more unusual weapons like the mace multi-pistol and gun sword, you'll have everything you need to blast your way through the deadliest combats. This box set will carry an MSRP of $22.99. And then we have the companion, the Pathfinder Gears deck. The Pathfinder Gears deck is a companion, once again, to Pathfinder Guns and Gears. Provides illustrations and statistics for scores of new clockwork gadgets and inventions for creative characters to use as they tackle each new adventure. Included in this deck are off-the-wall weapons like the backpack catapult and unexpected ways of staying ahead of your enemies like gadget skates. Go, go, gadget skates! This box set carries the MSRP of $22.99. Then we've got the Pathfinder Flip Mat Classics Pathfinder Lodge. Adventurers need a place to gather between their far-off journeys and dangerous quests, and the Pathfinder Lodge provides the perfect guild hall for their rare moments of rest between adventures. Of course, an adventurer never gets to rest for long, and Pathfinder Flip Mat Classics Pathfinder Lodge allows you to hit your players where it hurts the most, in the safety of their own hideout. The most popular Pathfinder flip mats in history return. These fan-favorite maps feature versatile adventure settings, city streets, forests, ships, taverns, and more. Now they're back for a repeat performance. Durable and lavishly detailed, these essential adventure set pieces are sure to bring excitement to your game table for years to come. On tabletops across the world, the flip mat revolution is changing the way players run their fantasy role-playing games. Why take the time to sketch out ugly scenery on a smudgy plastic mat when dynamic encounters and easy cleanup is just a flip away? This carries an MSRP of $14.99. So we've got 5 major Pathfinder releases coming in April. Got to point out, there are no Starfinder releases next month. They're kind of making up for that this month. We're getting quite a bit of Starfinder, a couple of chapters in the Horizons of the Vast Adventure Path, and some flip mats. So this month is a focus on Starfinder. Next month, the focus is on Pathfinder. So there you have it. Coco B is with us in chat. Good to see you, Coco B. Who else we got? Did I miss anybody? No. Looks like we are in good shape. Omenal says getting old is not for the young. Yeah, we get there. So that is how we get there. Omenal also says they're afraid of the big gun there. Guns and Gears is actually a pretty interesting source book. I was supposed to get a review for it. I haven't gotten it yet. I might find out that I'm going to have to do my own video review for it, which is okay. It's no big deal. But that's on top of a couple other things that I was expecting reviews from correspondents of, and it looks like I got to do the reviews myself. So, once again, not that big a deal. All right. There are 2 new story path system role-playing game core books, which are up for crowdfunding for Onyx Path Publishing. Here's the deets. They came from tabletop role-playing games. Take your favorite movies, television shows, and pop culture touchstones and turn them into action-packed and wisecracking opportunities to tell your own versions of these cinematic stories. Previous releases have explored B-movie atomic bomb horror from the 1950s. They came from beneath the sea. And twisted tales of horror from the 1960s and 70s. They came from beyond the grave. With this campaign, Onyx Path is ready to introduce 2 new entities, enabling you to take on quest-filled fantasy adventure stories with They Came from the Cyclops' Cave, and it is Cyclops plural, and thrilling tales of world-saving espionage with They Came from Classified. Now you can help Onyx Path bring these games to life by supporting either or both with this double feature crowdfunding campaign. They Came from the Cyclops' Cave sees characters ranging from heroic swordsmen and cunning sorceresses to charming minstrels and agile scoundrels, embarking on quests designed to evoke the majesty of fantasy movies and television shows from the 1940s onward. Whether you're looking to channel an epic like The Thief of Baghdad, that would be before the 1940s because it's silent, or grim fantasy such as The Sword and the Sorcerer, Cyclops' Cave has everything you need for swashbuckling, noble heroism, and monster slaying. They Came from Classified features heroes ranging from talented adventurers and agency quartermasters to dashing spies and sexy provocateurs, embracing all the excitement, gadgets, and mayhem of these spy movies and detective TV shows prevalent from the 1960s onward. Whether you're a Moore-era Bond fan, not really. Not really. Although I like Roger Moore. Sean Connery, baby. Sean Connery. Even though he was kind of before my time. Or maybe you're a aficionado of John Steed and Emma Peel's adventures, or an Austin Powers-esque swinging cat. Classified has everything you need for a groovy, espionage-filled story. There is a Kickstarter video. It's actually fairly long. It's about 4.5 minutes, but it's kind of funny. I chuckled a few times. So it's going to share, it's just going to share the themes of these 2 new core books. So let's kick back and give it a peek.
The latest Onyx Path double feature. They Came from the Cyclops' Cave, and They Came from Classified.
New from Onyx Path Publishing. They Came from the Cyclops' Cave. Experience fantasy, epic, and magical. Recreate the covers of other beloved role-playing games. But play this one. Use magical effects to disappear. Revel. Gallop and explode. Have you ever turned a tree into a man? Have you ever tied someone to a pillar while barbecuing a hand?
No, please stop. That's vile.
Play as fairies, giants, warriors, and wizards. But don't sleep through the action and the drama. Visit distant lands. Brush, tiny people. Chart your own odyssey to faraway kingdoms. Grip your weapons like they've never been gripped before. They came from the Cyclops' cave, a game of cinematic fantasy inspired by all your favorite movies of fantasy cinema. New from Onyx Path Publishing, it's stylish. Oh yeah! Oh, you wait till I get up, I'm gonna give you such a hiding. Oh, smacko! It's mysterious. I say, this button wasn't here yesterday when I looked. What happens if I push it? Oh, luckily the bookcase only went and moved. I wonder what happens if I push a little further. What might I find behind? Oh my, it's cheeky. Of course, sir, did you just see that silhouette we just emerged from? What? Oh yes, of course. It's deadly. It's risky. Very well rolled, sir, but you need to stop making that gesture. Yes, that one. The locals don't like it. It doesn't mean what you think. It's exotic. It's villainous. Yes, sculptures are villainous. What does this note even say? It's too dark to read it. What if I put it in the bug tank? No, still no luck. It's cloak and dagger. Oh, my lower back, not again. Oh, Zappo! This is for selling secrets to the enemy, you bloody bastard. Oh, it's super scientific.
Oh no, not the doomsday device. These goggles are no help at all. At least leave the door open so we can escape.
I don't think I will. It's classified. They came from classified. They came from classified. A game of cinematic espionage inspired by all your favorite spy movies and TV shows.
You can reserve both of these new core books in hardcover for a $105 pledge. You can get them separately for $55 each. You can get both in PDF for a $45 pledge or separately for $25 each through April 7th. Expected delivery on the PDFs is November of next year, with the physical books to follow in May of 2024. I find that kind of curious. But I think, I'm not positive, but I think what's going on here is Onyx Path Publishing is giving you the worst case scenario delivery dates, because I understand they're fairly well known for bringing in some of their Kickstarters early. And of course, by giving you like a worst case scenario date, anything before that is going to be early, right? So Coco B says, yeah, Onyx Path has piqued my interest, but 2024? Yes, I know. And I was taking a look. I thought, is this possibly just a misprint? But it is not. So they're indicating the digital products November of next year and the physical books to follow in May of 2024. These look pretty interesting. I have to point out, I am not familiar at all with the story path system, but Sammy has reviewed a few releases for They Came From Beneath the Sea. And she should be sharing some reviews of They Came from Beyond the Grave shortly. I don't know, for some reason, I just love saying those titles like that. Russell Higgins says, those are the dates that their trucks will have enough gas to make deliveries. As Omenal points out, 2024 will come faster than you think. Yes, that is definitely true. My final news piece, coming in May from Steamforged Games, is the Dark Souls role-playing game. Here's the skinny. New from Steamforged Games, in partnership with Bandai Namco Inc. and From Software, Dark Souls, the role-playing game, is a complete tabletop role-playing game of adventure, horror, and tactical combat. Inside the lavishly illustrated 500-page hardback core book is everything you need to run thrilling role-playing campaigns set in the ruinous Dark Souls universe, including a full set of 5th edition rules enriched with signature Dark Souls mechanics. This does use the 5th edition engine of the world's favorite role-playing game. Once again, I'm wondering, what could that possibly be? It's a familiar system for experienced role players with a brand new Dark Souls twist. No additional handbooks will be needed to play. This is an all-in-one game. It'll include 10 bespoke new character classes, including incredible new abilities, sinister new character backgrounds, and more. Experience a different class in every campaign. Brand new Dark Souls magic system will be complete with devastating spells, pyromancies, and blessings. There's a Game Master's chapter filled with tips and advice on running role-playing games that capture the spirit of Dark Souls, to onboard new GMs and help experienced GMs run authentic campaigns. There's a full bestiary that's teeming with deadly Dark Souls creatures, all waiting to end your quest for good, from mushroom people to the Lords of Cinder. It's going to be over 500 pages of Dark Souls role-playing content for infinite hours of play. The hardcover core book for Dark Souls, the role-playing game, arrives in May, and it carries an MSRP of $49.95. Personally, I think that's a smashing deal for over 500 pages. Although core books that size don't necessarily always hold up to gameplay. So I'm kind of curious about how well it will hold up. Also, now, there aren't a lot of images of the contents within this game. So all that I was able to really track down are these kind of character classes. But I'm hoping that the pages do not have so much white space and just kind of open. It's like 500 pages, not going to have a lot of content. So, but hey, I know there are a lot of people super excited for Dark Souls, the role-playing game. Rob German is in chat with us. So is Jason Brantley, or Brantley, I should say. Why did I say Brantley? Thinking of Michael Brantley, the baseball player. All right. So Jason and Rob have joined us. We got a pretty good chat going this evening so far. And that is it for tonight's news. So I do want to mention, even though we didn't talk about anything over at Drive-Thru RPG, should point out that the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit, say, Drive-Thru RPG or Dungeon Masters Guild, Storyteller's Vault, what have you, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a little portion of that sale. All those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Also, if you like this video, if you dig the channel, if you enjoy visiting thegaminggang.com, if you like what we do, you can certainly buy me a cup of coffee or some soda by visiting thegaminggang.com. What am I talking about? Duh. I'm zoning out because I'm thinking of the next thing I'm going to tell you, which is something new. You can make a small donation by going to paypal.me/thegaminggang. And big thanks to the Madman, who has once again made a donation towards keeping ye old gaming gang around. Much appreciated. Really appreciate people who use those banner ads as well, because it all adds up. It really, really does. And keep in mind, I don't do Kickstarters to keep the gaming gang around. So it's that, and some of the advertising we do is basically what keeps us afloat. Let's see. Jason says the second pronunciation was right. Yes, I know. I said Brantley, and I was like, wait, what the hell's wrong with me? That's not his name, dummy. The other thing I was going to mention is I've got some auctions up on eBay. So it's been so long since I used eBay, but I have some auctions that are up, and every week I'm going to have new auctions up on eBay. It's just stuff that's really collecting dust. And I just want to get them in good homes. So unfortunately, you cannot, as far as I understand, search for a user on eBay. So what I'm going to do is on the landing page, on the front page of thegaminggang.com, I'm going to put a little banner ad, well, not a banner ad, but a little sidebar ad, which will go to the auctions. But in the meantime, if you want to find the 10 auctions I have currently going on, and there's some goodies in there, super cheap, you can go, the easiest way would probably be to search for Amul, which is AMUL, the board game, or Amul board game, which is the Stronghold Games card game. And you'll see an image with a black background with the box. That is me. So I know it's like having to jump through some hoops until I get that little ad up, which I'll probably get that up maybe tonight or tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff going on right now. So Man says, eBay? What's that again? Haven't used eBay in a long time. I'll have to check it out for the auction. Jason says, it's a nice clear night over here. What's the weather like in Chicago today? It was nice. I did not get outside at all because I'd been working on stuff. Because remember, there's only 2 shows this week, tonight and tomorrow. So I was shooting some video content to keep everybody occupied. Plus, we have 3 Epic Legacy books, right? So there's going to be a standalone video for the Tome of Titans, Volume 1. And of course, if you missed it, I did my review for Dungeons & Dragons Critical Role, Call of the Netherdeep today. So that is up. That is live. You can check that out. All right. So without further ado, let's jump on in and take a look at the Epic Legacy Core Rulebook right after a short intermission.
What is it?
Say, what is it? Hey, why, it's Buttercup. Popcorn and sweet cream butter, too hot popcorn. Mix it up, wrap it up, Buttercup is born.
It's delicious.
So nutritious.
It's a taste delight.
It's so munchy,
Crisp and crunchy.
you'll enjoy each bite. Eat butter-drenched Buttercup, popcorn at its best.
Served in a king-size cup.
It beats all the rest.
Yum. Buttercup popcorn. I like that little intermission ad. It's got like a, nice little song to it and everything. Yeah, I know. I'm an oddball. 245 Trioxin has swung into chat. Welcome aboard. So let's jump on in. We're going to take a look at the Epic Legacy Core Rulebook, which is from 2C Gaming. The book is written by Ryan Service, Stephen Gordon, and Jonathan Kelly. This hardcover does carry an MSRP of $49.95 normally. It is on sale right now for $39.95. The PDF can be had for $24.95 normally, But right now it's also on sale for $19.95. So let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Epic Legacy. So as I mentioned, my understanding, I believe, I could be wrong because I have not cracked this open at all. I haven't even read what's on the back. So Jason says, see, Jeff isn't the only one to mispronounce today. I mispronounce stuff all the time. I say it constantly. I treat the English language as if it's a second language, which it isn't. It's my only language. Anyway, my understanding is Epic Legacy takes your 5th edition characters from 20th level to 30th level. And I know some folks out there are like, oh my gosh, 30th level, that's kind of unheard of. It's not, because there were old editions of D&D that did not cut off the levels available. It was like at a certain point, it would say, okay, each additional level, you needed XYZ number of experience points. And, you might get a hit point or something like that. All right, let's take a look at the back here. Hello, adventurer. It's good to meet you. I invite you to sit with me and drink. Nice. For there's much to discuss. You have walked many paths throughout your career, both the glorious hero fighting for righteous cause and the daring villain, cruel and merciless. These mantles and more have you taken up over myriad lifetimes and many tales. Whether you wielded magics born from the highest powers or steel forged in dragonfire, you have met your challenges with the greatest tools, skills, spells, and abilities available. With these, you have conquered every foe, delved every dungeon, and climbed every mountain. But beyond these heights these heights exist yet others, and among them, the truly untapped pinnacle of mortal potential. Know this, I have witnessed warriors stand against immeasurable demonic legions. Mages reshape swaths of reality with nary a thought. Former servants of the gods rise to join them, and those in service to darker powers grow to enslave the cosmic beings themselves. While the power I describe can save or condemn worlds, a play is only as good as its actors. The information within this tome will make for your best story yet. Enjoy. Talion Vaz Carvin, true speaker. All right. So Jason says that they remember something like this for 3rd edition. Yeah, there have been a few releases. In fact, there's other releases out there that I'm aware of for higher level adventuring beyond 20th level in D&D. So fine folks over at 2C Gaming were kind enough to provide me with this review copy. Of course, remember, keep in mind, neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang received any other sort of compensation for me to share this first look with you. And I say it all the time, people don't believe it, but it's actually very important that you know that. Helga Ratbone is with us. Welcome aboard, Helga. Good to see you. All right, so let's jump on in. So once again, this is a first look. I have not peeked at any of this. I will mention that I'm going to say picture-in-picture up here, as usual. And that means I'll be cutting off a little bit of the book in the upper left corner. And I'm not going to look at each and every page either. So we're just going to get kind of an idea of what to expect in this book as well. Of course, I will have a review in the near future. So we get a preface talking about our play testers. What's in this book? It says the Epic Legacy Core Rulebook is divided into 2 sections, one for players and the other for game masters. So it says chapters 1 through 4 are about epic characters and how to turn an ordinary 5th edition player into an epic 5th edition player. Okay. Then it says, for game masters, a game of 5th edition is nothing without a DM. And the same is true here. When dealing with epic characters, you're going to need a lot more tools in your box to handle their newfound abilities. You need to become an epic dungeon master. And this section is here to help, talking about how to use the book. So what is an epic character? Epic characters are the core of epic legacy, surpassing their non-epic counterparts in every way. Epic characters are figures of legend, genre-defining adventurers whose importance cannot be overstated. So here we go, beyond 20th level and getting started. So I have to say that I have always thought it is very, very difficult to pull off good, high-level adventures, regardless of the game system. Now, games that don't have levels tend to be pretty easy to have, like, higher tiered characters and higher tiered geared adventures, as opposed to those that work on a level system. So I'm kind of curious at what we're looking at with this Epic Legacy. So Jason says the dark powers always get a bad rep. Take necromancy, for example. Can a guy raise a family in peace? Or pieces? Yes, the raise part. Omenal says, got to keep grandma working. Talking about building a character, epic characters from scratch. So if you wanted to start at like 21st level, I guess you could. Talking about step-by-step as well. So it looks like we've got a bit of like a saddle stitch for our binding here. So that's pretty interesting. The epic ego table. Arrogant, bored, isolated, old timer. There you go. That fits many of us. A show off. So Omenal says necromancy is not looked down on by politicians. Got to keep those people on the voter rolls. Yeah, especially in Chicago. So we've got different tiers of play. Talking about epic versus non-epic, epic versus epic, epic versus deific. Wow. Okay. That's kind of wild. So we've got talking about the various different checks like strength, dexterity, constitution. So examples for epic constitution checks, dexterity checks, and so on, charisma checks. So here are the epic prestige classes. So we have the Ravager, which is an epic barbarian. True Speaker, which is an epic bard. Ascendant, an epic cleric. Primordial, which is an epic druid. Dreadnought, which is the epic fighter. Enlightened Fist, which is the epic monk. We have the Crusader, which is an epic paladin. A Slayer, which is the epic ranger. Grifter, it's an interesting terminology for an epic rogue. The Archon for an epic sorcerer. The Overlord for the epic warlock. And the Archmage for the epic wizard. So, giving us a breakdown of prerequisites, class features, going up to 30th level. Some additional powers. Different paths for the epic barbarian, which was the, what was it called? The Ravager. There we go. Here's our True Speaker. Just going to take a look at each of these classes. Here's the Ascendant. We have different domains for the cleric as well. The Primordial, the epic druid. So we've got our features once again. So it looks like we've got like 3 pages devoted to each of the classes. So we've got our Dreadnought. So we have different fighting stances for the fighter. Here's the Enlightened Fist, which is the monk. Here's our Crusader, the epic paladin. I tend to play paladins. It's just my thing. The guy who's an atheist playing a paladin. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So here's our Slayer, the Epic Ranger. The Grifter. There's the Archon. The Overlord. So some of the classes get a few more pages. So it looks like some of them are 3, some of them are 4. And then we have the Archmage. Artwork's pretty good. Artwork looks pretty cool in this. Okay, so there are our classes. So then we've got some additional spells. This is for the Archmage. I believe the others also had that. So we've got some customization options. Epic skills. Epic languages. Here we go. Epic magic. At the heart of every fantasy setting is magic. Non-epic spellcasters can cast incredibly powerful spells to shape the world around them. To an epic spellcaster, however, these wielders are but ignorant children scratching the surface of true potential. Beyond the realm of what most magical experts believe is possible lies greater power. So here we've got problematic spells, which is one of the reasons why you find that it's difficult to pull off higher level fantasy adventures because of the spells. Because as the magic users go up in level and they unlock the potential for various different spells that can kind of break the game, it makes it tougher and tougher to have high level adventures without having to resort to what we like to call as gimping a player or gimping the players. Like, oh, divination spells don't work. You know, ooh, can't use that spell. It doesn't work. Which, in reality, in my opinion, is gimping the players because they've earned their skills and their spells, and now you're taking away the ability to use them. 245 Trioxin says they're an atheist and typically play a cleric. You know, funny enough, when I play Europa Universalis 4, I usually play as Spain. And I become like the protector of the Roman Catholic Church and all this other stuff. It's pretty funny. Coco B says they're a city boy who always plays a ranger. So there's some discussion of Bard's Tale. The Bard's Tale. Wow, that's going back. Although they did release a revised edition a few years ago, not that long ago, of the Bard's Tale. I don't think it did too well, but that's going back to the really old school computer role-playing games. So we've got listings of epic spells here. Like we've got quite a few of them. Yeah, actually it looks like we've got quite a lot of them. Natural disaster, miracle, obliterate. So now we move into the Dungeon Master facing material, the Epic DM. Dungeon Master is no stranger to power. Through 5th edition, you can create encounters featuring some of the system's greatest threats and set pieces. Unfortunately, most of these resources provide only a fraction of the content necessary for a quality epic level experience. When running a game of Epic Legacy, you'll have to contend with some of the most powerful characters ever put to paper. But fear not, within these next few chapters is a host of mighty tools to crush their overconfident swagger, forging you into an epic dungeon master of terrific ability. All right. So, acting, exploring, storytelling, problem solving, pitfalls of an epic game. If you're an RPG veteran, Chances are you've had a game fall apart. Oh, yes. We've all had that happen as game masters and as players. So Jason says they have a player who plays a ranger who, in real life, their knowledge of trees reaches as far as the green stuff is on top. All right. So we have different paradigms, it looks like. Talking about epic campaigns. So I'm kind of curious if it would be easier to start off a new group as Epic Legacy characters, or if this would work better as the reward for the player characters getting the 20th level. Kind of curious. I wonder. Right, so it's talking about running the game. Oh, wait a second. That's kind of cool spread there. Epic encounters. Epic affixes. Epic characters are well beyond the power of most creatures in a world full of danger and dragons. Encounters against such creatures are one-sided affairs that fail to provide a serious challenge. While such encounters are fun and have a place in the game of Epic Legacy, characters need to make tactical decisions, spend resources, and face a degree of risk in encounters. So this is talking about the affixes. So we have devastating, keen, potent, multi-attacks, anti-magic, indomitable. So now we've got relics, which are obviously going to be magic items. Very powerful magic items. Looks like that's this whole section here is all about relics and giving us some examples of them as well. And then we get our mythic creatures, which the bestiary is, I believe, the Tome of Titans, Volume 1, which I am going to be looking at. I'm going to share a first look video on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. So we have the Godless Council. So we have some epic kind of entities here, it looks like. Polaris, the Arctic Star. The Time Weaver. Oh, Hastur, the King in Yellow. There you go. Get a little Lovecraftian, little mythos there. Although the King in Yellow actually isn't Lovecraft, but it is added into every mythos role-playing game, that's for sure. All right. Then we get stat blocks information there as well. Total Party Kill Bestiary Volume 1. So I believe this is just, that's for just 5e. I don't believe that is for the Epic Legacy. So we've got a couple other releases from 2C Gaming. And that is the Epic Legacy Core Rulebook. Once again, it is available in hardcover. It's on sale right now. I do not know how long the sale is going to last. But right now you can pick it up for $39.95 from the 2C Gaming website. You can also get the PDF at the same website for $19.95. Normally the PDF is $5 more and the hardcover is $10 more. Of course, I will have a review of Epic Legacy in the very near future. It's going on over to the other camera. That was pretty quick. So there's some discussion of some goings on in some folks' 5e games. Talking about a ranger. The ranger that only in real life knows the green stuff's on top as far as trees go. So I was going to mention, I got a bunch of goodies this weekend. I was going to show you what arrived, then I'm going to show you what we're going to take a look at on tomorrow's show. But I got the new Cryptid game from Osprey Games. This is Cryptid Urban Legends. And I did a review of the original Cryptid, and it was a much larger box. I mean, it was a pretty standard footprint box. And this one is much smaller. This is a standalone game as well. This isn't an expansion to Cryptid. And I got to point out, I am happy to see it in a much smaller box. I don't think it has exactly the same gameplay, but I think it's similar. Like I said, I liked Cryptid, so I'm interested to see what's going on with this. So this arrived. I also got a couple of items from Kobold Press. I got the digest-sized or pocket edition of Vault of Magic. So we're going to be taking a look at this. I also got Warlock Layers Into the Wilds. So these are on the horizon. As I mentioned before, we're going to see far more role-playing game coverage than board game coverage for the foreseeable future. It's just kind of the way it is. So as I had mentioned, I had talked to the new PR person for Ulysses Spiel. And I had mentioned they were talking about sending some Torg stuff. And I had pointed out that there were some Torg releases between the last thing I've looked at and the latest. So I didn't think it would make all that much sense for them to send me the newest Cosm that came out, because I'd be missing like 2 or 3 Cosms. So I said, you know, if you want, why don't you send Fading Suns? Because, I mean, you don't have to be really up to speed on Fading Suns because it's all, you know, fairly recent that came out. Well, I got a ton of Fading Sun stuff. So I got the 3-volume slipcase set. So these are the core books for Fading Suns. Now, this is the 4th edition of Fading Suns, which I actually did a couple of interviews about Fading Suns when it was, I think it was heading to Kickstarter. That's back at Gen Con like 3 years ago. Also received the faction book and Intrigues and Escapades. So I'm taking a guess this is probably an adventure book. The Game Master screen, which I wouldn't be shocked if there's an adventure with this as well. And the play kit, which I'm taking a guess, maybe this has character sheets and things like that. So all of these goodies showed up over the weekend. So that's on top of all the other stuff that's on the agenda for us to be taking a look at. Speaking of taking a look at things, on tomorrow's show, we're going to take a peek at the campaign codex for Epic Legacy. And obviously, well, maybe not obviously, I would think this is geared towards Dungeon Masters, that this is not player facing. But we will find out. We will take a first look on tomorrow's show. All right, so there you have it. That's it for this time out. Of course, if you like this video, don't forget, give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell, because it'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and normally Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central. It'll also tell you when I upload other videos, such as today's review of Dungeons & Dragons Critical Role Call of the Netherdeep from Wizards of the Coast. All right, once again, I will be back tomorrow. Those of you out there who watch live, thank you very much. If you took part in chat, a bigger thank you. You get experience points for that. And of course, I know a lot of people don't have an opportunity to watch these streams live. Doesn't matter when or how you watch. You can be watching on Memorex. Doesn't matter. All it does matter is you actually take some time out of your busy lives to watch these videos, and it is much appreciated. All righty then. Once again, tomorrow we'll be taking a look at Epic Legacy's Campaign Codex. And until then, here's hoping each and every one of you always gets an opportunity to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang. See you tomorrow. Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. Check out the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch, or find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks for watching.